Yeah. So today we are going to focus particularly on file management system. So let me just go on. Like first, we are logging into https eofficemanipur.in, and you'll be asked for login ID and password. That login ID and password will be the official email address and the password which NIC has shared with you. So once you get that, you are going to log in, and you will be asked for an OTP. Again, OTP is going to come to that particular mobile number which you have submitted to NIC while creating your official email ID. So that mobile number is very much required to be an active one because the OTP is going to be received there only. So once we log in, we will be landing to this page, the page which I'm showing you right now. And today we are going to focus on file management system module, the first module. I would request others to please go on mute because I can still hear some sound. Yeah, if you have question, then please unmute and let me know. If you don't, then please request you to please go on mute. Okay, thank you so much. And yeah, coming back to this, we are going to focus today on file management system module. So once we click on this, we'll be landing to this page. So what will happen now is now we have these sub modules inside that file management system module. We have receipts, we have files, we have migrated files, and so on like that over here. So now let's go one by one. Let's go to the receipt sub module. So when you expand this plus sign, you will be getting these options. I am logged into my colleague's ID. So let me just log into my ID because that will be a little easy for me to explain. Okay, so you will be landing to this page. Let's go to receipt. Let's expand the receipt plus sign, and you will be getting these options. And you have browse and diarize. So why generally why this option is required is because, like, you know, when you want to send out a DAK to the departments, you can send out using this option. But how you get it, like, so for example, you have received a physical DAK. What you got to do is you got to scan that particular DAK and keep it in your system. So once, and that should be in a PDF form, because over here you can see it says upload only PDF after 20 MB. So this is a mandatory criteria which has been given. So you have to save that document or whatever doc which you have received, which you want to send it across to be in PDF form. Okay, so for example, let's just assume that I have already received the doc and I've scanned and I've kept it in my. Yeah, so I have kept it in the system. So now what we are going to do is we have clicked on this browse and diarize, and we get this particular page which you are seeing currently. We have this option called upload file here. When you click on upload file, you'll be taken, you'll be asked for a file which you want to, or a doc which you want to upload. So for example, let's say I'm going to just put in any of the PDF which I have at the moment. So let's just assume that this is the particular doc which we have received, which we have scanned and kept. We're going to click on this and open. So we get the doc in this form. Example. Let me choose another one because this seems to be a transfer order, so I don't want to kind of mess up with this. Okay, I'm just selecting one PDF file from here. And what we got to do now is like, this is on the right side of your screen. On your left side, you get all this metadata form where you have to fill in the details. Generally, what details which we have to fill in here is, for example, the person who has sent you this doc. For example, this has been sent by Navam Devin, who is the director of IT. So this particular doc, I'm going to send it across. So I have to fill in the details of Mr. Devin. Okay. So You click on this and you get all the details which he has. How we get this details is because maybe he must have, for the first time login, you don't have an option, you have to type in, okay, for if you want to save your details. Suppose you type in your username, your name, designation, and whatever is mandatory over here. And when you click on this add to address book checkbox, that will save your details in e-office. So whenever if you have sent out an any DAG or something and that person wants to send it across, and the same way how I have selected for this particular user, same way that person will be able to select yours as well if you have saved it in the address book. So that's one thing. And yeah, you fill in the details of the person who had sent the DAG, and that detail is done. Then see, please note that here are other mandatory fields also, like for example, delivery mode, how it is going to be delivered by post or courier by hand, or like let's select email, for example, or any of this, whichever is suits whatever, I mean, which all DAG you're going to send. So that's how you're going to select delivery mode and stuff. And after that, you have to give the contact details which we have given. And please note that we generally fill in only the asterisk marks field, which are the mandatory fields. We don't go ahead and fill in every details. But then having said that, we should be filling in, but generally we don't, because we just keep it to the limited information. So that contact details is being filled. Now we have category and subject. So under the main category, you have this drop down, whichever is the category this particular DAG belongs to, you can select. I will select general, and subcategory, you can leave it blank. As I said, this is not a mandatory field. And we say like, okay, we need to write the subject of this particular DAG. So I'm just going to write test DAG for training. Something I'm going to write. So that this is how you, I mean, write the subject of the DAG, and then you can either generate and send or generate. When you want to, when I say generate and send, you will be directly, for example, I'll just do that, generate and send. So you get this particular option where you have to type in whom do you want to send to and what are the things you want to, for example, under the remarks, you can just put in what is the extra information you want to add. And to field is something I'm going to just send it to Herozit. So I'm going to send it to Herozit. By having said that, that can be sent to multiple people. So to field should be only one person. And if you want to send it to all the, or like more than 2-3 departments, that's, we can go ahead and select, fill in the CC field. Okay, in CC field, there's no limit that, to the number of users you want to send. But please note that under the to field, it should be only one person, but under the CC, you can go ahead and, kind of fill in whomever you want to send to. For example, when I click on this particular CC, this particular link over here, click on this, you'll be getting this option. This kind of makes you, let you select whom you want to send to. For example, if you want to send to, uh, I mean, 2-3 people, you can go ahead and select all these. All right, these all can be selected. And if you have cross department, cross department privilege, then you can still go ahead and select like which department you want to send it to. For example, if I want to send to finance, oh sorry, I don't have that particular external sender receiver right, that is why I'm not getting that. But if a person has an external sender receiver right, that person will be able to select everyone's details. So this is how you select the details. But yeah, when you want to send it to across the department, then please know that you have to select this government of Manipur, click, press your mouse over here, and you have to select all. Then only you will be allowed to, kind of select other departments also if you have the privilege. But for time being, for testing purpose, I'm going to send it only to Herozit. And I'm going to mark it as send this particular DAG. So now what I have done so far is I have browsed and diarized this particular DAG, and then I have fill in the details, and I'm sending it. I have generate and send. I didn't generate. I have generate and send, and I've sent it to Herozit. Now I am logged in as Herozit over here. So let's see in Herod's the DAK is going to come under this receipts inbox. Okay. For files, it's going to come in files inbox. So DAK is going to be receipts inbox. So when I click on the inbox, you can see this particular DAK which I have sent just now. It's already here. So you see that everything it says it is sent by Deepa and then sent it to Herozer, and you can kind of have that thing also over here. And then when you click on the inbox again, you can still see the details what I have filled in, like who is the sender of the DAG is already here because I have filled in the details of the person who is the sender of the DAG. I am just a sender of this, but then who has initiated the DAG is from this person, and then this person has sent it, and it is with Herozit now. And the sent on time and things, details, and the subject which we have written, and it's all visible over here. So this is how a DAG is being sent. What I have done was I have generated and sent. Now let me just show you how I generate a DAG and can we use it later. So browse and diaries again, upload the file again, any file, any PDF file. Okay. So I select this website, I select others, for example, I select testing DAG. Now let's just generate this particular DAG. So the DAG has already been generated. Now let's come to created. Whatever DAG you have generated and kept, it will be under this created. I'm sorry. Yeah. This is again acknowledgement created. This is browse and diaries. The receipts created one is over here. I got confused. So this is the created folder. When you click on the created folder, you can see that particular DAG has already been there. So if you want to, generally why we just generate and keep is like, if you want to attach that particular document or any DAG or any kind of a, what do you call correspondence to a file, you always have to browse and diarize and generate. And one case is if you have a DAG, you have browse and diaries, but you are not sure of the sender. So in that case also you can just generate and keep, and once you're aware of the sender, you can directly open this particular DAG from your created folder and then click on send. This will again take you to that page which I have shown you. Yeah, over here it will be going to, and you can type in the person who we want to send DAG to, and you can send it. So this is one thing about a DAG. So what we have done so far is we have, for example, we are just assuming they were getting a physical copy of a DAG. If you get a soft copy, it is much better. You can directly, you don't have to, you can skip that scan and putting it in your system steps. You can directly browse and diarize, upload a particular file, fill in the metadata on the left side of the tab, and then generate and send, or like just generate, whatever. So that is what we have shown just far. In generate and send, you will be directly taken to this particular page where we are right now. If you just generate, it will be going to this created folder, and then from there you can send it. And if you don't want to send it, or if you want to attach it in a file also, you can do it, but you have to first generate and keep. I mean, you always have to browse and diarize any document or anything which you want to put it in a file. So this is about the DAG so far. Can you please let me know if you guys have any question on the DAG? I will be happy to answer.
Morning, madam. How will how they get this receipt number?
It is auto-generated by system.
It will be generated by system. And how will it give to the concerned person? who came to give the DAK?
Sorry, I didn't get your question, sir.
We have generated the receipt number, but how we will give to the person who came to the who came to give the DAK? We have to give him a number, receipt number to him also.
See, for the physical copy of what you receive is something you like how you guys had been doing for the physical copy. Okay. What I'm telling now is what you give to the person who had sent you the DAG as a, who has given the DAG physically. It's again how it has been processed so far. I mean, as a physical testing. But when it comes to e-office, the receipt number will be auto-generated by the system. This is something you need not give to that particular person who has come to give you that physical copy of the DAG. Physical copy of the DAG, when you receive, you have your filing system where you note the DAG number and give the receipt. That process will be there for the manual thing. But when it comes to e-office, once the DAG has been browsed and diarized and kept, that is the electronic medium. So that receipt number, I don't think it will be of any use to the person whom you have, who has came and dropped you the physical copy manually. So this is what I'm telling you so far is only about the e-office, not about the physical thing which you have received. That process of what the receipt number which you give it to the person who has manually came and delivered to you will be the same as how we had been doing so far till now.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Any other questions? Because I am actually done with the DAG part. So DAG is only this much. You can just browse and diarize particular DAG or a letter or anything which you want to send it across or which you want to kind of upload it in a file later on. So that is like for everything in e-office has to go under this browse and diarize, wherein you fill in the details of the person and then you send it. So this is about DAGs. So if nobody has any question on the DAG, then I will move on to the file. So please let me know if you have any question on DAG. Okay, so fine then. I believe everybody is clear. So let's move on to files. Again, I am done with the receipt module, which I have just shown you. Now let's move on to the file module. So under file module, if you have to create a file, so what we generally do is we go to create new. And when you expand this file module, you get all these options. So go to create new. Then you have all these drop down. These are called file head. Again, file head. Let me just show you an example of a file head. Yeah. So whenever we say file head, it is something like which we expect the department or the directorate to kind of create just whichever is applicable for their respective departments or directorate and submit it to DIT. So this is how a file head looks. So main head code, primary code, second primary head, secondary code, secondary head. This is how a file head looks. So the logic over here is, for example, main head has an establishment and the code has been given. Okay. So whenever we are submitting a particular file and we select establishment, for example, main head option will be the first one in the file. Whenever you want to put up a file, when you see the first one in the drop down, this will be your main head. Okay, This will be the main head. Then when it comes to primary head, you see these three options. So what happened is when you select establishment, and this will be your primary head. When you click on this primary head, you will be seeing these three options. This I'm showing you with the DIT's uh, credential. That is why you won't be seeing the same option. This is for which department? I'm not sure. This is for some department. I'm not sure which department. So what happens is whenever this department's file is being submitted by the department's employee, so whenever that person selects an establishment and the main head, they'll be getting these three options like service matter, personal file, and miscellaneous. Like in this case, in my case, when I select accounts for DIT, under the main head, under the primary head, I get these four options. Likewise, whenever establishment is selected, they will get these three options. And okay, for example, I am selecting general account. This is my primary, sorry, this is my main head, primary head, secondary head. So I have selected general account. Under general account, I have these many options. Likewise, when you select main head as establishment, you get these three options under the primary head. When you select service matter, for example, or personal file, whenever you select personal file, you'll be getting these four options again under the personal file under the secondary head. Likewise, when you select service matter in your primary as a primary, you'll be getting these options under your secondary. Like when you select office expenditure, you'll be getting this only one option is there. That is why I'm getting only one option. If I have two, three options, then I will be getting just two, three options. That's how it has been done. I select general account, I get these many options. So I select this. This is my main head, primary head, secondary head. This is how the file head is going to work. So that is something we did. We expect the departments, the directorate to create a file head in this particular Excel sheet format, which I'm showing you currently, which consists of your main head, primary head, and a secondary head, and then submit it to DIT. So that this is one thing which is again required from, again, a pending task, if I have to say, from the department or the directorate, because without this, you won't be able to put up a file in your office. So you need to have this. Okay, so this is one part of the thing. But having said that, as I've said, this is your main head, this is primary head, secondary head. We still have a tertiary head. Again, most of the departments don't have the fourth drop down, but some department does. But then again, it's the choice of the department how they want it to be. Okay. So I have selected accounts and I have selected general accounts and I have selected annual plan, for example. This is how you create a file. Whenever you click on the create new or under the file option, you get this particular page where you get to select the file heads from like your what is going to be your main head, primary and secondary. Now, once we are done with this, I'm going to we can put the description of the file. For example, what is this file about? For example, I say this file is about training test file. It's just a description I'm just giving to this file. Again, whatever description is visible for your file, which you will be putting up, has to be put under the description tab. So once you are done filling in, see, I am filling in only the mandatory fields again. So I fill in the file head number, file number, then I fill in the description. Let's click on continue working. So this is the first step of creating a file. Create new is what you click under the file, then select the file heads from here, then fill in the description, then continue working. So whenever you click on continue working, you will be getting this particular pop-up which says a file number will be generated and it says number generated will be final and cannot be edited. This is the kind of a warning, if I have to say, says that you have to be sure that this particular file is going to be generated and you're sure about it. And if you are not sure, if you want to make some changes on the maybe the file code or the file head which you have selected, you can still do it before prior to proceeding on creating. Otherwise, once you create, you won't be able to edit the number of the file. So that's what it says. So when I click OK, you get this particular page. On the right side of the screen, you see it's a green note, green sheet. On the left, on the left side of the screen, you see it is green sheet. On the right side is it's just a blank thing which you can see over here. Let me tell you what are these sheets about. So when you say green, this sheet is in your physical file, you have all this legal sheets and stuff like that. So that's the role. That's the role which is going to be played by the left side of the tab of the screen. On the right side, it's going to be that particular correspondence or the supporting documents of the file which you're going to put up is going to be placed on the right side of the screen. So for example, you have to have you can see over here on the left side of the screen that you have green node and you have yellow node. For example, if I say I want to go ahead with the yellow node, I'm sure some of you must be aware of the yellow node, but some might not be. So let me just tell you what is yellow node. For example, I click on add yellow node. What yellow node does is, as in like, if I am going to put up a file and I am not sure of the content of the file, like so for example, I have written some content of the in the file, but I'm not sure whether this particular content is proper, or I want to have this particular content checked from with my higher officials, or like with my reporting manager. If I want this particular content to be checked by my reporting manager or my higher official or my um, on my manager, so that ways we send yellow note, which means it is kind of a rough note, if I have to say. For example, I'll just show you how it has been done. So I say this is yellow note, something we write over here. Okay. So in yellow note, I'm just putting a yellow note over here and I'm going to send it. I want to send it to my high official. I just want to make him or her have a check on this. For example, I am sending it to Herozit as a yellow note. Now let's log into Herozit's account. So again, as I've said, file will be going to files inbox, receipts will be going, DAK will be going to receipts inbox. So let's click on file. And the inbox is already open. The training test file which I have sent is already with Herozit. And as you can see, this is marked in yellow color, which means it is a yellow note. So when I click on this particular file, so I see this is a yellow note. For example, again, the higher official wants to kind of have a correction being done over here, or if that higher official is fine with this particular content of the the sheet which you are going to which you have submitted, then what they can do is they can directly confirm this or edit. For example, I want to make the changes over here, so he wants to edit that. So click on edit. And I say, there's something I'm just going to put over here. So once we are done with this, the higher official has added this. This is a yellow note for testing is what he or she has added. So once that person has added extra content or corrected the content which you have sent, he or she has to click on submit. So when you submit it, you can see over here, we have two versions. For example, I want to check the first version, which has been sent by Deepa. It says this is yellow note. The second version, which is the latest version, says this is yellow note for testing. So this is how a yellow note works. If the official is fine with this, he or she can directly confirm it, which will convert this yellow note into green note, or he or she can send it back to the person who had sent it. For example, we have these two options, right? We have send and send back. So send back is going to send it back to the person who had sent you the file. Send can be sent to anyone. So the name itself implies, so I'm going to send it back. So when I click on send back, it will just directly, yeah, you see, under the to field, the name of the person who has sent the file is already there. Because since it's a yellow note, we can use this option without any hesitation if you want that person to put up the file properly. So send it back to Deepa. Now it has gone from Herozit. Now let's come to Deepa's inbox. So the file has come to Deepa again as a yellow note because it is marked in yellow color. So I click on this particular file. I see that it has been changes has been made because I can see these two versions over here and I can see this being made. So once this is being confirmed, because my officials, I official have kind of made a changes, sent it to me as that is what I wanted it to be happening. You know, I wanted it to be checked and then, you know, done properly. So it has been checked and it didn't send it back. So in this case, what we can do is we can directly confirm. Okay, still you have a discard option also. If you just kind of change your mind and want to put something all together differently, then you can do that as well. But for time being, I'm just going to confirm it, thinking that okay, this particular content of the of my file is being tested and has been, you know, kind of checked and corrected by my higher official. Now I can put up this file. So I'm going to confirm this. I'm clicking on confirm. So once you confirm, you can see that the yellow note has changed to green note. Am I clear so far? Please let me know if you guys have any doubt.
Okay, clear.
Thank you so much. So it has been converted to green note, and then you can proceed with the file thing and then send it across. This is one part. Okay. So we have converted to green note. Then from here, the actual process of the file thing starts. Now let's click on this table of content. It's DOC, what it means. When you click on this, as I've said, the right side of the screen is the correspondence part where you want to add your supporting documents. So whenever you want to attach any document in your file, that particular document has to be browse and diarise as how we have done previously under the receipt section. So that has to be browse and diarise and generate and keep it there so that you can use it when you are sending a file. So I am going to send a file and I'm going to attach that particular DAK which we have. Yeah, this was the DAK, right, which we have generated and kept. So I'm going to use that particular DAK. So when you click on attach, this is automatically going to open that particular the browse and diarise documents. Okay, it is going to open it. You don't have any options to go and select from your system or like whichever is you have kept it on your desktop or systems, any of the folder or any of the drive that won't be in there. There's no option like that. So all you have to do is you have to first browse and diarise and keep it, and so that once you click on attach, that it will directly take you to the page. So I've attached, I've clicked on attach, and I'm going to select this particular DAK. I'm selecting this testing DAK and I'm going to attach this particular DAK. So you can see this particular DAK has come here. You have attached because we have browsed and kept it already. Likewise, you can still attach 3, 4, 5, 6, how much number you want as per your file. So this is browse and diaries. And for example, I am going to put in another one more tab. So let's just select anything from here. You can see it here. Now, once we are done with this, you can send it. This is something I want to show you when you were doing your yellow note. You will not get these options of DAC sign and send, e-sign and send. You have only send option because that is when you say DAC sign and send, it is kind of like the full and final approved 1. So whenever you sign on any of the green sheet or any of the document for that matter, that means you have finally approved that. But when you send yellow note, as I've said, yellow note is kind of like a rough note. So in that case, you won't have these options of e-sign send or DAC sign and send. Any sign option will not be there. So now you have these options of signing and sending. So generally we go for DAC sign and send, where you get a kind of a pen drive, kind of a USB port, which you have to again apply. So once you get that, you will be given with a password as well with that. So when you plug into your system and keep, and when you click on DAC sign and send, it is going to ask you that particular password of that particular dongle, which or a pen drive kind of a thing, which you put it in your system, which you have plugged in your system. So when once you get that, you can directly send that. Since I don't have any plug, I haven't plugged in my DAC's port, which is why I get this particular error. So in that case, what sometimes people does is people can directly go ahead and send it. It is not a hard and fast rule that you have to DAC sign and send it, but it is always advisable that you better DAC sign and send that particular file or file, so that kind of gives us this confirmation that okay, this is an approved one kind. So that's one thing. But having said that, we still have files and DAK which comes to us without the DAC sign. Okay, so that is done now. I have sent the file to Herozit. Now let's go to Herozit's account. And you can see this come to Herozit's account. So let's click on this particular file. And for example, Herozit wants to add some more thing, and Herozit's going to check the table of content. So he has, here you can see that there are two attachments which has been attached to this particular file. Now Herozit wants to add something on this. So he can add, go ahead and write more note on this particular file by clicking on this add green note. Okay. So now Herozit also can again kind of attach. Okay, so Herozit can also attach the particular one moment, please. So Herozit has written certain thing in the file and uploaded attachment and can be sent it across again. So now let's come to my inbox. I can see that the file is already here. So whatever the note sheet I have written is over here. Whatever Herozit has written under this note sheet 2, it's over here. Now I want to add another thing over here. So I'm going to click on again add green note. And I say, for example, I say please refer to page number 1. This is what I'm going to write. This is where I'm going to send you. What I've shown you till so far is I have shown you how a file has been created, how you select the file head, how you send the file with the yellow node, how the yellow node is converted to green node, and how you attach particular any document in the file. So I have shown you these many so far. Please let me know if you have any doubt so far, because now I'm going to teach you how you can do the how can you can create a reference link from file to the correspondence or the supporting documents. So that is what I'm going to show you. But prior to me proceeding with that, please let me know if you guys have any doubt on the file process so far, that how you create a file, how you create a green yellow node, how you convert it to green node, how you send the file, and yeah, so far. So please let me know. Yeah, so yeah, then in that case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, proceed further. So yeah, so I have written, please refer to page number 1. You can see over here on your right side of the tab under this correspondence tab, you have pages, like it says this particular DAG has only one page, so it is only one page. And this particular DAG has 2 pages, so 2 and 3. This particular DAG has around 6 pages, so 4 to 10. This is how we can see the page. But when I say please refer to page, this is easy at least, because the correspondence, we have only hardly 3 4 correspondence. Sometimes we have lots of correspondence, and then it is very tough for us to learn when we say pages and that person has to go scroll down and stuff like that. So to avoid that, what we can do is, you please click on this page number 1, which we are going to refer to. Click on this particular page number 1, and you select this page number 1 from here, and please click on this particular table kind of a symbol over here. It says reference. Click on this reference, and it says page number 1. So I say okay. Then you can see this automatically. There's a link which has been created under page number 1. So okay, I say please refer page number 1, and also please refer. And this is one thing, when we have lots of correspondence, for us to avoid that scrolling down and getting confused step, it is always better to create a reference link, like how I have showed you just now. And at times also we have lots of notes being written in a file. If you have a long processed file, there must be so many notes which has been written. In that case also, you can always, and please refer note number 2 is what I'm going to write. Note number 1 is what I'm going to write. Okay. So, and say, please refer note number 1. Here also you can create reference link. Let's click on this particular previous noting on the right side of the screen. Say, I'm going to refer to note number 1. So I select this note number 1. Again, please come to this particular reference link over here. Click on this. You see, you have refer noting by page number or by note number. So I click on the note number, and I can choose which note I'm going to refer to. I'm going to refer to note number 1. I'm going to choose a note number 1. So I select by note number, and I select note number 1, and I say okay. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, I have created the reference link for note and this. Now let's send it to the higher official. So I want to just show you how the higher official can easily access that particular file or particular node. I'll send it to Herozit. Let's go to Herozit's account. Click on the inbox. You see this particular file. Click on that file, and you see that the reference link which I've created is already there. So now click on page number 1. Link, the page directly opens. So we did not go, kind of search for that particular page from the correspondence list and things like that. So when you directly click on this link, that particular document or particular part which you want which you want your file to be referred to is being opened directly. Likewise, when you click on note number 1, click on this particular link, you see note number 1 says this is a yellow note for testing. So this is how a reference link has been created in a file for us to have an easy access, or like to make the person who is kind of referring to the things a bit easier. So this is what so far we have covered. Any doubt on this linking part, or any doubt on the correspondence part, anything, please let me know. Okay, fine then. In that case, what we can do is we have created, now what we have done so far, we have created a file, we have submitted a yellow note, we have converted into green note. We have shown you like how a reference link has been created in a file. Now let me tell you how you put up, attach a draft letter on an official letter in a file. So for that, you have to go to draft. It says create new draft. So create new draft, you get this particular page and you get all these metadata tab, like how we have in the receipts, the dark part, which I've shown you earlier. So in this case, what we can do is, generally it says you can upload a file, you can choose a template and things like that. It is okay, you can always upload a file also, but we would always advise you to either type in here one thing or copy paste from the Word document which you have written. Okay, for example, let me just show you one other thing. Okay. Control C, Control V. You have these options. Either you type in here directly or copy paste from the ones you have written, and then fill in the details. You can either fill in the person who's going to send a particular draft, or you can fill in your detail as well. Sorry, this is zero this account. So we can fill in this detail as well, or you can fill in the person who's going to send a dark detail. So once you fill in with this, you can save it. So what happened is, whenever you want to go back to the file, click on this link above, which is a file number. Click on this. You get that particular file. The draft was kept it here. When you want to kind of have the, have a look as to where the file has gone and where the draft has already been placed or not, or like if you want to just kind of avoid this clicking and things. So what you can do is, there's this quick view over here on the left, on the extreme right side of the screen. So you see quick view noting. When you click on noting, it will show you all the notes you have written so far. Quick view correspondence TOC is again, it's going to show you the files or the supporting documents which you have attached. And then you have draft. So it is going to show you how many drafts and what drafts been already created. So we already have a draft over here. So this is the purpose of quick view. So this is one quick view you can check. And this is that TOC and stuff, which is going to show you the supporting document. So these are the options. And again, we have options over here as well. For example, let's say Correspondence, again, open due to correspondence draft. I've shown you how it has been done. Reference, link files and all, I'm going to cover it later as in like later part of this session. Then when you click on movement, you see the movement of the file. It has been created, send it to Herozit, again Herozit send it to Deepa and stuff like that. You can see it in the movement tab, movements tab of a file. Then you have attachments where you want to, this is again, I'll cover it later. So movement is there. Then just in case you happen to, like, for example, as it's already been warned and you will not be able to change the number of the file, but later after processing the file, you realize there is a spelling mistake or something which you want to put in the file under the heading, or you have kind of missed that out or you spelled that heading wrongly. In that case, please click on this edit button, edit thing options over here, option over here. So when you click on edit, as you can see, the file number will not be editable, but your description of the file, testing file, training test file, reference. It's something I'm going to just put. I say done. So that particular training test file for reference is changed. So the purpose of edit is just to edit that. And then send back is something which I've already told you. It is going to send it back to the person who had sent you. Send, with the send option, you can send it to any other person, including the person who had sent you also. So that is one thing. So this is what so far we have covered. Please let me know. Okay, fine. Let me, this file is okay. So now Herozit. Okay, yeah, please tell me if you guys have any doubt so far. Please let me know. I have shown you how the reference link for both attachment as well as the notes been given, shown. I've told you how this movement of the file can be seen. I've told you how you can create a draft. Quick noting, quick views are something which I've showed you. And if you want to edit for the heading of the file, you can still do that. That's what I've just demonstrated. Please let me know if you guys have any doubt so far so that I can proceed further. Any question, anyone? Hello? I hope I'm audible. Any question? Hello? Please let me know if at least I'm audible or not. I'm not sure. Am I audible? Yes. Okay. So as you guys don't have any question, then let me just proceed with pull up and pull back option, okay? For example, now Herozit wants to send a file to me again or to anybody. So Herozit sends to me. Now, after sending the file, Herozit realized that there is something which he had to do and which he kind of missed out. For example, let's say if Herozit has kind of missed out missed out something in the content of the note which he has written, or he has kind of missed out an attachment which he has to attach along with the note. In that case, what Herozit can do is Herozit can go to sent item. There's a sent folder over here under the files. He clicks on the sent and he sees that this particular, there's always an option of this, how you can see that particular file has been open or already been opened by the person whom you had sent it to. For example, as you can see under the send option, when you see the rest of the files over here has only action initiated on the extreme right of the screen. But the first file, the last file which he had sent, has got this mark, which is pullback, which means he has sent the file to Deepa. Deepa hasn't opened the file. So that is why you're getting this pullback option. If Deepa has opened the file, then he will not get pullback option. So this pullback option is generally used when you have missed out something in the file which you have created, or like you want to kind of have some changes being done, or the document which has been missed out from attaching. So that ways we can pull back the file. Click on pullback, says missing attachment. So I click OK. Now come to inbox. You see the file has come back to Herojit again. It will not be in Deepa's inbox anymore because we have pulled up the file. I pulled back the file. The file is not with Deepa anymore. File has been pulled back. So we click on the file again. I missed out a content. Can go ahead and add a content in this particular file and then send it back. This is what the purpose of pullback is. But again, having said that, for example, if you want to change the content in the DAK, if you have already DAC sign and send, in this case, there was no DAC sign. If it was DAC sign and send, that content cannot be edited because, as I've said, when you sign any document or anything, it says it is a final one. So in that case, you won't be able to edit the content, but you will still be able to attach the correspondence. But if you haven't DAC signed, then you should be able to change the content of the file. So that's the purpose of pullback. Please let me know any doubt on pullback.
Madam, can you repeat the pullback once again?
Okay, sure, I'll do that. For example, suppose the file is now with Herojit. Okay, if Herojit is going to send a file to Deepa, it's going to add green node. It says testing in progress is check the details. He writes something like this and he sends it to me. Now he realizes there's something he missed out. So go to sent item. You can see over here, there's a pullback option over here. So click on the pullback. It says but you need to give a valid reason. Okay, you can, this is for testing, which is why I'm just giving some, illogical kind of a remarks, but you should always give a valid remarks for why you're pulling back the file. So now it is again, see, I have pulled back the, Herojit has pulled back the file, it has come to his inbox. Click on his inbox. File is there in his, click on this. Something I just write. And then I think I'm gonna have 2, 3. Okay, he can again add some correspondence over here. And then add some correspondence, make changes in um, the content in the file. And because since we haven't DAC signed, so it is possible. If we have DAC signed, then you have no other option than to just say, please ignore my previous note, this, blah, blah, and then you can write the proper note which you want to write. So I wrote something like this and I send it back to Deepa. So now the file has gone to Deepa. Let's come to my inbox. And I click on this and I see these content, okay, testing this, blah, blah, whatever the change has been done. Now let's go to sent item of Herozet. Check this particular file. You don't have that option, the pullback option, because this file has already been read by me. So once the receiver of the file has opened the file and read it, you will not have the pullback option. So which is why once I have read this particular file, you will Herozet will no longer see that pullback option. Again, another thing is, as I've told you, the movement kind of track the movement of the file. It also kind of tracked why the file was pulled back and what was the reason. For example, over here you can see we have pulled back the file twice. Once I've written missing attachment, again I've written pull back missing content. So this is why it is very important for us to write the remarks properly when you pull back the file, because that's going to be all recorded. So if you don't give a valid reason, maybe you will be answerable to many questions as well, but it's always better to have a valid reason for that. Is this clear?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Now what I have shown you now is the pull back option. Now I'll show you what is pull up. Please note there's two different terms. One is pull back, one is pull up. So pull back, as the name suggests, it is pulling back the file to the person from the person you have sent it if the person hasn't read it. And pull up is something like, for example, why pull up is generally uses. Suppose your colleague has gone on a unplanned leave for a long duration, or like he's not there in office, but there's a file which has to be put up very immediately. In that case, what we do is we use this pull up options. For example, this particular file, which we are working on right now, is with Deepa, and Herozet has to put up this particular file ASAP, because it is what has been demanded to from the higher officials. So in that case, what Herozet can do is he or she or anybody for that matter should be having the file number. So this is possible only when the person whom you are going to pull up the file is within the same organization. Okay, you cannot do it across. So I cannot go ahead and pull up a file from Mahood department. I cannot go and pull up a file from any XYZ department. I can pull up a file from DIT since I belong to DIT. So that's the option over here. So Herozet has to pull up the file from Deepa. So Herozet has to know the file number or a computer number, anything, any of these. So I copy this particular file number, and let's go to this advanced over here. And select everything, copy paste the file number, search files. You see there's a file which says it is currently with Deepa, and things over here, you can see it from here. So now this particular file has to be put up because Deepa has gone on an unplanned leave or is currently not in office, and this file is something very urgent. So in that case, what you do is click on this pull up over here. You can see under the actions you have details and pull up. Click on the pull up and say something like that, or some valid reason is always required, and I say okay. As we have seen, this file was with Deepa earlier. Now let's go to Herojit's inbox. Now it is with Herojit now because it will be sent by Deepa because it has been pulled up from Deepa. So then click on this file. Then he or she, Herojit can start working on this file and put up to the higher official because that was a demand. Again, when it goes to higher official, he or she can check the file movement. And there you can see all the actions being recorded. It says pull back, pulled up. Pull up will not say pull up, it says force received. Why? Because it was done without the consent of the particular user because that was something which was demanded at that point in time. So which is why it is called force received. We would generally recommend people not to pull up the files. But again, having said that, if there's something very urgent which has been required, then we have no other option than to do that. So this is about pull up and pull back. Can you please let me know if anybody has any doubt in these two? So pullback is something which you have sent it to the user before the receiver reads the file. You can pull back that particular file if you happen to have missed out some detail or some content or some attachment. Pullback is that option when that particular person hasn't read the file, opened the file yet. When it comes to pull up, it is something that person has gone on a long vacation or unplanned leave or something which that file has to immediately put it up. So in that case, we use this pull up option. This is the difference between pull up and pull back. So any questions so far?
Yeah. Can a file be pulled up from a superior officer?
Pull up from a superior officer. If that particular superior officer is in your same department, then you will be able to. Not across the department. Then you will be able to. But then you need to always have a valid reason for that. That's one thing. And just in case from superior officer, if you feel a bit hesitant to kind of pull up from him, then you can always request that particular superior officer to please put it down to you by writing some comment, or without any comment also is fine. Then you can have your correction being done. If you have kind of missed out something, then that's better to be pulled back. But then yeah, you can always pull up from anybody who is within your organization. Is that clear, everyone? Or like you want me to repeat on anything? Please let me know. Now I will move on to the draft approval, if that's fine. Okay, so we have seen that Herozit has attached a draft in this particular file. Now let's send it to, so attach draft letter. Then we generally give the reference number of the draft, which is under, says DFA dash 26106. Something I'm just writing. Okay, so attach a draft, this, and generally we write it in a note itself that there's a draft which has been attached and some stuff like that. So once, oh, I'm sorry, I closed something else. So, okay, I write something like this and I will send it to higher officials, for example. And please know that whomever you're going to send a file or a DAG, or like, for example, that person needs to have this draft approval role. So that's again not the concern of the staff, but then again, you should always let DIT know about it, that so and so person needs the DAG approval role. So here also let's send a file to Deepa. So when we see this, it says last says attach the draft this. So we go to the draft. It says view draft. When you have to put in the draft, you go to create draft. When you have to check the draft, you go to view draft. Click this particular draft. So you get all this. Since I have an approval role. Hello, sir. Can you please go on mute, sir? You are audible to all. Thank you so much. So we have this draft and I have the approval rule. So I'm going to approve this particular draft. See, whenever you approve a draft, it says we generally use certain options. We don't use all the options because we haven't tried all. We can either DAC sign. When you say DAC sign the draft, it will give you the DAC signature on mostly the bottom of the draft. So it can be anywhere else on the bottom of the draft. E-sign again the same thing. But if you want your draft to be signed on the specific area, then you can always use custom sign. So when you click on custom sign, okay, why it is coming like this? Because this particular thing has 2 pages, which is why it is coming this way. I'm wondering how come we had 2 pages over here. Okay, so let's imagine, okay, let me, custom signature. Okay. Second page, let's ignore because I believe that has come by mistake. But if you have because I want the signature to be done here, that is why I was just getting that. I clicked on custom sign and I select this particular area where I want the signature to be done here. Then you select this particular area when you say DAC sign or e-sign, then your digital signature is going to appear in this area, which is why custom signature is being used. If you are okay with the draft being signed anywhere at the bottom of the draft, then you can directly use DAC sign or e-sign, any of that option. And for example, I have already approved, but you once approved draft cannot be. If you want to edit the draft also, that can be done, but since I've already approved, I will not be able to edit the content of the draft. The edit button, when you edit the draft, approve draft edit option will be still available. That edit is for editing this particular metadata over here. When you want to edit the draft, it is always, you can directly, before approving, you have to click on edit draft and edit the draft. So this signature is how you can sign the draft. Okay, this is about the draft approval. Is it clear or you want me to explain it again? Please let me know. Okay, I have opened the draft again. Yeah, this is because I've already approved, so will not be able to. But yeah, this is how the draft has been approved, signed, and DAC signed based on the individual's choice, whoever's approving the draft. So this is about draft. Please let me know if you have any doubts. Anyone, any doubts, please let me know. All right, then in that case, I'll just proceed. For example, let's just assume that this particular, sorry. Okay, let's assume that this particular file has completed its cycle. For example, it has gone sent out for getting some approval, and the approval is being received and it has come back to me again. So for me, this particular file has completed its cycle, as in like getting the approval and going to the different hierarchy and coming back to me. So sir, mute the chapio. Sir Shanti Kumar, mute the chapio. Sir Shanti Kumar, mute the chapio. Excuse me.
Sky Blue Farm.
Hello. Sir Shanti Kumar, mute the chapio. Hello, sir. Mute the chapio, sir. Okay, so like okay, fine. This file has actually completed its cycle, is what we say when we go send out this, put up this file for get fetching an approval, and we receive that. So that says the cycle of this file is completed. So what we do with a completed file, because just to avoid, when you open a file from that day till the file is in processing and all, this particular clock time is being on from the time you have opened the file. So just to stop that clocking of the time, it shouldn't say this file is with you from past so many days or so many months or so many years. Just to avoid that particular thing, we can have an option of going to park file. Then you can give the park due date. Having said that, suppose if you give the park due date to be like September 2022, for example, and you give it to somewhere else, and then you mark the remark, you give the remark and say, okay, and you have you have got another task where you have to open this particular file again, because this file is going to be under the same accounts file which we have opened. So for any accounts related matter, if you happen to receive anything which you have to put up accounts file, then you can always go to the park file and open this file, irrespective of whether the due date has reached or not. That is again possible. So we can always park this file. You can check the park file history and close file history. I generally don't recommend close file, but again, it's again due to up to the individual if they want to close the file. It's always better to park the file and keep for the remaining days to come, so that this doesn't cause any harm. You can always reopen this particular parked file prior to the due date also. So that is one thing. You can park this file. So we have used this option. We have shown you this option, how do you park the file, and you can go and check your park file history, close file history. These are the things you can see under this more option. So park file is something which I've just explained. Then yeah, then we have something called link. There are two types of, one is link and one is attachment. So when you say link, internal file is like internal link, external link. If a file belongs to the external department, that we say external link. If the file is within the department, it's an internal one. So we say it's an internal link. And attachment again has to be attached in this particular file. Suppose if you want to attach another file in this particular file, you can always go for attachment and you can click on file, and then it'll show you what are the other files you have in your inbox. You can create that, select that particular file and attach. So that is again still possible, but just to explain you the difference between link and the attached file. So when you say link file, it's something like you are creating a Xerox copy of the file which you are going to link and send it to the higher official or subordinate, whomever you want to send it. So that is link file. That is, you are creating a Xerox copy of the file. When we say attach, that means you are attaching the whole file itself. So in case of link file, when you link a file, the file which you are linking to will be there in these two both cases, and either it's a link file or an attached file. The file has to be present in your inbox. You can't link a file which is there in somebody's inbox to this file. That's not possible. The file has to be there in your inbox. So when you link a file, and you link the file to a file which is definitely there in your inbox, and you send it, that file which you have linked will still be in your inbox, because when you link a file, it is creating only the Xerox copy of a file. It is not linking the file itself, kind of. It is creating a Xerox copy of the file, and that file will still be in your inbox. Where when you attach a file, the file which you have attached will no longer be in your inbox. So these are the two differences between link file and attached file. So this is again still at a little higher end, but yeah, maybe it's just to let you know this is how it is. Attaching a file will let your file disappear from your inbox. Linking a file will not let your file disappear in your inbox, because linking creates a Xerox copy of the file. So these are the two differences. Any questions so far, please let me know. So we are almost coming to the end of the session before we take up digitization. So I guess we can clear out as many doubts we have prior to going to digitization.
What is Anani?
Any doubts, anyone, or shall we start with the digitization? Okay, in this case, then I would, one second. Chinkengambi, are you there?
Yes, Deepa.
So Chinkengambi will take over the digitization part. Yeah, done with the file movement, the DAK creation and things. So Chinkengambi, please proceed. I will stop sharing my screen.
Thank you. ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ digitization ꯄꯥꯔꯠꯁꯤꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯇꯧꯗꯣꯏꯁꯦ ꯀꯩꯁꯨꯝꯗ ꯀꯩꯅꯣꯅꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯍꯥꯟꯅ already ꯂꯩꯔꯕ ꯑꯗꯩꯗꯤ legacy file ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯤ ꯉꯁꯥꯏꯒꯤ ꯍꯥꯟꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ already hard copy ꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯕ ꯐꯥꯏꯜꯁꯤꯡꯁꯦ ꯀꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯇꯧꯗꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ e-office platformꯗ ꯄꯨꯔꯛꯀꯗꯒꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯁꯤꯅꯦꯕ digitization ꯄꯥꯔꯠꯇ ꯂꯥꯛꯇꯣꯏꯁꯦ ꯑꯗꯣ ꯐꯥꯔꯁꯇ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ e-office की file गा migrate कमाइन तो किदगे have मतलब जो कोई first all file है दी hard copy ओइना ओइना ले legacy file में हमसे कोई first ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ scan ꯇꯧꯔꯅꯤ ꯀꯣ line department ꯅ line department ꯅ ꯉꯁꯥꯏꯒꯤ file ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯗꯨ scan ꯇꯧꯔꯅꯤ scan ꯇꯧꯔꯕ ꯃꯇꯨꯡꯗ ꯉꯁꯥꯏꯒꯤ scan ꯇꯧꯔꯕ file ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯑꯗꯣ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ IT department ꯗ upload ꯇꯧꯅꯕꯒꯤꯗꯃꯛꯇ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ digitization manager ꯗ ꯄꯤꯕꯤꯒꯗꯕꯅꯦꯕ ꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯊꯕꯛꯁꯤꯃ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯄꯤꯔꯕ ꯃꯇꯨꯡꯗ IT department ꯅ digitization manager ꯁꯤꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ STP server ꯗ upload ꯇꯧꯔꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯁꯤ upload ꯇꯧꯈ꯭ꯔꯕ file ꯁꯦ ꯑꯃꯨꯛ ꯀꯩꯗꯧꯔꯅꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ FTP server ꯗ upload ꯇꯧꯔꯕ ꯃꯇꯨꯡꯗ ꯉꯁꯥꯏꯒꯤ line department ꯁꯤꯅ ꯃꯁꯥ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ file ꯗꯨꯒꯤ owner ꯅꯠꯇ꯭ꯔꯒ responsible person of that particular file ꯗꯣ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯃꯥꯒꯤ officer ꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯥꯒꯤ e-office ꯀꯤ login ID password ꯁꯤ ꯁꯤꯖꯤꯟꯅꯔꯀꯥꯟꯗ ꯑꯃꯨꯛ ꯉꯁꯥꯏꯒꯤ FTP server ꯗꯒꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ download ꯇꯧꯔꯀꯥꯟꯗ migrate ꯇꯧꯒꯅꯦꯕ e-office ꯀꯩꯅꯣꯗ e-office ꯀꯤ platform ꯗ ꯁꯤ ꯀꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯇꯧꯒꯗꯒꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯁꯤꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ file ꯁꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ line department ꯅ ꯀꯃꯥꯏꯅ scan ꯇꯧꯒꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯒꯤ ꯀꯃꯥꯏꯅ naming ꯁꯦ ꯃꯥꯒꯤ naming convention ꯈꯔ ꯂꯩꯒꯅꯦꯕ ꯀꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯊꯣꯟꯒꯗꯒꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯁꯤ ꯃꯔꯝꯗ ꯑꯩ ꯍꯥꯏꯖꯔꯛꯀꯦ first scan ꯇꯧꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯁꯤꯗ maximum file size 20 MB ꯑꯣꯏꯒꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ resolution 200 DPI in grayscale ꯑꯣꯏꯒꯅꯦꯕ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ file naming convention ꯗ ꯃꯥꯅ ꯀꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯃꯥꯒꯤ file ꯑꯃꯒꯤ ꯃꯃꯤꯡ ꯊꯣꯟꯒꯗꯒꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ ꯉꯁꯥꯏ first folder name ꯁꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ department or section name ꯁꯤ ꯄꯤꯒꯅꯦꯕ under that department or section name ꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯅꯨꯡꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ user name ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯤ ꯉꯁꯥꯏꯒꯤ owner ꯗꯨꯒꯤ file owner ꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯃꯃꯤꯡꯗꯣ ꯄꯤꯒꯅꯦꯕ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯃꯅꯨꯡꯗ user name ꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯉꯁꯥꯏꯒꯤ officer ꯗꯨꯒꯤ file ꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯃꯅꯨꯡꯁꯤꯗ ꯉꯁꯥꯏꯒꯤ ꯃꯥꯅ ꯃꯥꯏ ꯃꯅꯨꯡꯗ file ꯀꯌꯥ ꯂꯩ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯣ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯃꯇꯨꯡꯏꯟꯅ particular file ꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯃꯃꯤꯡꯗꯣ ꯄꯤꯔꯅꯤ file ꯑꯃꯃꯝꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯅꯨꯡꯁꯤꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ subfolder 4 subfolder ꯍꯥꯞꯀꯅꯦꯕ ꯑꯗꯨ subfolder ꯁꯤꯡꯗꯣ ꯀꯩꯀꯩꯅꯣ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ notes ꯀꯧꯕ ꯑꯃꯅꯦ receipts ꯀꯧꯕ ꯑꯃꯅꯦ issues ꯀꯧꯕ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯅꯦ reference ꯀꯧꯕ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯅꯦ ꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯔꯤꯁꯦ ꯁꯤꯒꯤ subfolder ꯃꯅꯨꯡꯁꯤꯗ ꯁꯤꯒꯤ subfolder ꯃꯔꯤꯁꯦ ꯁꯤꯒꯤ file name ꯃꯃꯤꯡ ꯄꯤꯔꯤꯕ ꯐꯣꯜꯗꯔꯁꯤ ꯃꯅꯨꯡꯗ ꯍꯥꯞꯀꯅꯦꯕ ꯁꯨꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯇꯧꯗꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ scan ꯇꯧꯔꯕ file ꯁꯦ ꯃꯃꯤꯡ ꯊꯣꯜꯂꯒ ꯁꯤꯒꯤ format ꯁꯤꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ IT department ꯗ ꯄꯤꯕꯤꯔꯛꯀꯗꯕꯅꯦꯕ ꯑꯗꯨꯗ ꯉꯁꯥꯏ notes ꯍꯥꯏꯕ subfolder ꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯅꯨꯡꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯍꯥꯞꯀꯗꯒꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ note sheet hard copy ꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯂꯩꯔꯤꯕ legacy file ꯗ ꯌꯥꯎꯔꯤꯕ note sheet ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯁꯦ ꯁꯤꯁꯦ scan ꯇꯧꯔꯒ notes sigi subfolder sida hapkani receipts haibasina saige koina legacy file or the old file hard copy the aramba file koi correspondence file file mayam se document mayam se correspondence documents mayam se receipts sida hapkaneba issues haibase sisina koina mion de pithokiba the order guma thadokiba letter guma si oidoine sidi koina sida hapkadabane adu reference habisu atopa reference oiba documents sing sineba adubu khwaidigi convenient oiba mongda hairagadi siri asuma issues or reference haidi suma related documents sing sidu yarige receipt loina ma happy oba koina e office sinaba nungai ne bida mudu hena convenient oina bida magda tatabirani ko sine sumaina koina documents se kamaina folder manungda hapani adigi file maming kamain thongani haibdo ko aduga file maming thon bisida su kamain dogodage da koko sida folder name convention je folder se kamaina maming je thola pirakadege habda every folder se start with fl na hogane ba fl das na hogani aduga karigba file name sida akogi kaido ba sai slash yauramba se underscore na ron replace tawgane ba for example physical file name sida sagi 3/test/2020 there's dit and lerambase koina tholakpa matandadi fl 3/test_2020 there's dit and smaina file naming se smaina lakaneba bata birani ko adu si kamaina koige smaina scan tawbai di yarni na khanjare ꯁꯤꯁꯤ ꯁ꯭ꯀꯦꯟ ꯇꯧꯔꯅꯤ ꯃꯃꯤꯡ ꯁꯨꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯀꯟꯚꯦꯟꯁꯟꯁꯤ ꯁꯤꯖꯤꯟꯅꯔꯒ ꯊꯣꯜꯂꯅꯤ ꯊꯣꯜꯂ ꯃꯇꯨꯡꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯑꯥꯏ ꯇꯤ ꯗꯤꯄꯥꯔꯠꯃꯦꯟꯗ ꯄꯤꯕꯤꯔꯛꯑꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯈꯜꯂꯁꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯃꯇꯨꯡꯗ ꯉꯁꯥꯏ ꯑꯥꯏ ꯇꯤ ꯗꯤꯄꯥꯔꯠꯃꯦꯟꯅ ꯑꯗꯣꯝꯅ ꯄꯤꯕꯤꯔꯛꯏꯕ ꯐꯥꯏꯜꯗꯣ एफ टी पी सर्वर अपलोड तौग्रे एफ टी पी सर्वर अपलोड तौग्रे फाइल दो कमाइन तौदना मसाइगी फाइल ओनर दुना और मसाइगी responsible person of that particular department दुगी मागी officer दुना कमाइना डाउनलोड तौगरे के है बदाइना ई ऑफिस की थ्रू दे है के ई ऑफिस की प्लेटफॉर्म दे सिनारगा I first my owner दुगी कनोता मागी login ID सिनारगा ई ऑफिस प्लेटफॉर्म दे चंगनी को सिजे आईडी युमदे तौपनीना कनो सिनारे VPN सिनारगा ꯉꯁꯥꯏꯒꯤ ꯀꯩꯅꯣꯗꯨꯅ ꯁꯨꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯇꯧꯗꯅ ꯆꯪꯕꯤꯔꯛꯑꯅꯤꯀꯣ ꯇꯥꯏꯝ ꯑꯥꯎꯠ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯦ Yani sumana kugi magi e-office ki magi account du changa aneba changa matungda chamana nga sai to gi biduga e-office ta hana bana to gi biduga aduga e-file chalani e-file chalaganda masai e-file sigi manung sida migrate file na ma yawbuneba sida ubire sida migrate file sida chalaga create new haina ma yawbuneba option ama create new habisina ma matam sida ikoina physical file do haya manaba magi file gi cover ma thopo urani ra right side sida aduga akoina karamba file no ikoina e-office ta migrate tawise tawdoise habi matungina akoina file head to mang mari lena relevant file head ki particulars pe am loina khallane ba id samna yakanda digital india ko digital india ai manungda ko project ma'am leire da ko CSC ne na khalasi adu manungda reports haijalasi maina khallani ko khallaga ansida ikoina kano ma file bi description id kari file no haibido ko side ibyare maina mai ta thonjan be yaiba mai ta ko description ama pirani aduga sidagi general khallani ko aduga opening date anbirani mandatory fill ma'am se loimak aduga browse to matam sida ikoina karigumba kogi IT department na pibigriba line department na pibigriba file lo FTP server da thagat khibo oragadi akoina browse to matam sida file name do sai file do physical file un thagat khibo sida thokko urane ba adu uragadi sumaina select to biraga import habisi nambi gane ko import ase number matam sida asa FTP server da lairiba folder ka aina kari gai thagat ki habu sida lo yaw urani notes receipts notes sida ikoina kai yawi habu sida ure ko sida notes ki sub folder manu sida ma file ge sida lo display to bo era ura deba adu ma'am do select to birani lo namak aina hamning bagai aduga sisina e office ki platform da laibido oidine ba destination habu part sida yawshi adu destination part sigi notes sida khanbirani aduga sigi downward da point out river arrow se sida click to birane ba mana amain daudana receipt haibasisu maina khanbirani aduga silawirani receipt haibase aduga mana point out birane ba habirani ko adu sumaina loinamak pusalakpa loire harba matung lai kuina kadawani continue working habse tawrani ba click tawrani aduga chalani process tawrani antaga yenge Anh nói sai ấy này nó chỉ to giáo thế xin nó chỉ to xem bởi vì sẽ thuốc cái đó này anh nói sai mà thằng cái đâu cái gì này bà chỉ để giáo đi chứ
Karino.
mà anh đâu rồi mà quên na correspondence giáo cái document này em sẽ
Kaya. Mini secretary ko ba?
cái file gì han the quick training gì thằng là cái bên này bà document gì giáo tập mà lại có giáo ra cái gì sai cái quên na han FTP server đấy cái thằng như bộ đó sẽ lôi nó mặc lạc cái bên này bà the same process how you mind to be the kind of finalize migration se si to ma tamda adum sai file do changa ga note ki aduga document gi lay gida bane ba bika file migration gi do amta file thaga pe obo han tha do document ya okto ma lu hoji training do buda file kano to we amtang thaga pe o i demo to we na ba hoji am nei to file amtang thaga cha la ki ko ai hana gi do file jana ya okto ba ne ba ama ayaw ba ma ujara ke aduga kamaina migrate to ge da ge have do ko hajara ke Tangai mi ne si ko file am thaga la kane do to si hoji file je thaga le smai bio smai na urani ko aduga select tawrani aduga import tawgadam ne bu ko import tawsi note sida khanbirani note che karmaga cg khala matungda songi destination da leba note che khalani aduga download ta piba arrow sida click tawrani yani ko next ta receipt sida khalani सी फाइल सी सोने से रिसीव खलनी दुआ सुमान हापनेबा सी हापा मतुंगदा साइगी related ओइबा मा साइ file head की मागी related ओइबा correspondence मैम लोइन मखलनी digital India खले सी खले codes खले
ahum tabu.
तंग problem लइबा माली को हाना दी सुमाइना दी ताऊ तब field section is required
Tahu. चलो तौन वो छिंगी 정화 양kai 부기네 그렇지 응 아직까지
File migration gi se koi sumaina dum tawdoi ba do koi server gi problem kitang lak dagi koi na migrate tawdi file se koi hapsen mangam da ba hai tare koi kano server kitang kano yengi ba kamai do ino si ya tri se ado sigi pache koi ai heng abu tawjage ngasi yaungro mayam je file migration gi pache hatang ga heng chu matam si da yaubi da ngadin sangjari haidi puroi loi ba migration ji si tawro kan koi not sheet siga अगर correspondence में आम जिस इधर लोग ठोक कर बनेगा अदो होजी कोई problem नहीं बा माले technical अदो ना थोड़ा वो याद बा है डाले अदो नम सिबोक तने कोई file migration तो उधर से हम थोड़ी न लूब दी ना ते वही लाई लाई जाने दा होजी problem ले बेगी ने थोड़ा ट्रीजे ꯑꯗꯨꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯁꯤ ꯈꯛꯇꯅꯦ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯐꯥꯏꯅꯦꯂꯥꯏꯖꯦꯁꯟ ꯃꯥꯏꯒ꯭ꯔꯦꯠ ꯇꯧꯕꯁꯦ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯀꯤ ꯍꯥꯞꯆꯟꯈꯤꯕ ꯐꯥꯏꯜꯁꯦ ꯁꯨꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯁꯤꯗ ꯂꯣꯏ ꯊꯣꯛꯀꯗꯕ ꯗꯤꯁꯄ꯭ꯂꯦ ꯇꯧꯔꯛꯀꯅꯦꯕ ꯗꯤꯁꯄ꯭ꯂꯦ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯗꯣ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯆꯨꯝꯃꯤ ꯆꯨꯝꯗꯦ ꯌꯦꯡꯉꯀꯥꯟꯗ ꯐꯥꯏꯅꯦꯂꯥꯏꯖ ꯃꯥꯏꯒ꯭ꯔꯦꯁꯟꯁꯦ ꯅꯝꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯉꯁꯥꯏꯒꯤ ꯏ ꯑꯣꯐꯤꯁꯀꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯏ ꯑꯣꯐꯤꯁ ꯐꯥꯏꯜꯗ ꯁꯥꯔꯤꯕ ꯐꯥꯏꯜꯗꯣ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯁꯦꯝꯃꯤꯕ ꯐꯥꯏꯜꯗꯣ ꯑꯗꯨꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯂꯣꯏꯅꯃꯛ ꯊꯣꯛꯑ ꯂꯩꯒꯅꯦꯕ ꯌꯥꯝ
Madam.
ꯌꯦꯡꯅꯤꯡꯀꯣ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯤꯌꯣ
Madam.
ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯤꯌꯣ
Madam,
ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯤꯌꯨ
sigi step by step si madam.
ꯍꯣꯏ
Ado kay no ina video kay no ina clip toga mamangi thaglab EMD semi thaglapado.
ꯍꯣꯏ ꯍꯣꯏ
Advan toga akhoi gi kay no sida WhatsApp sida share tawsambiro adu akhoi su trial have hoge tawba.
ꯌꯥꯅꯤ ꯌꯥꯅꯤ ꯑꯩ
ꯑꯣ ꯑꯣ
ꯁꯣꯏꯗꯅꯒꯤ ꯇꯧꯖꯔꯛꯀꯦ ꯑꯗꯣ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯀꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯅꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯇꯧꯖꯗꯧꯁꯦ ꯀꯩꯅꯣ ꯇꯧꯕ ꯈꯤꯇꯪ ꯇꯦꯛꯅꯤꯀꯦꯜ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯣꯕ꯭ꯂꯦꯝ ꯂꯩꯕꯒꯤ
Okay, okay, yare
ꯇꯧꯕ
yare sir.
ꯉꯝꯗꯕꯒꯤꯅꯦ
Madam adu do sigi step by step to na upload to piro adu akhoi su trial have tawge dawni.
ꯐꯅꯤ ꯐꯅꯤ ꯑꯩ ꯁꯣꯏꯗꯅꯒꯤ ꯇꯧꯖꯔꯛꯀꯦ ꯌꯥꯅꯤ
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
ꯊꯦꯡꯀ꯭ꯌꯨ ꯌꯥꯅꯤꯀꯣ ꯐꯥꯏꯅꯦꯜ ꯀꯩꯅꯣ ꯃꯥꯏꯒ꯭ꯔꯦꯁꯟꯁꯦ ꯁꯤ ꯈꯛꯇꯅꯦ ꯇꯧꯗꯣꯏꯁꯦ ꯊꯣꯏꯗꯣꯛꯄꯗꯤ ꯂꯩꯇꯦ
ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯤ ꯁꯤ ꯊꯥ ꯊꯝꯗꯗꯤꯀꯣ ꯑꯩ ꯌꯥꯎꯗꯦ ꯑꯦꯞꯁꯦꯟ ꯄꯥꯟꯗꯣꯏꯕ
Okay, so ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯀꯤꯁꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯇ꯭ꯔꯦꯅꯤꯡꯁꯦ ꯁꯤꯗ ꯂꯣꯏꯁꯤꯟꯖꯔꯒꯦ ꯑꯇꯣꯞꯄ ꯉꯁꯥꯏꯒꯤ ꯐꯥꯏꯂꯤꯡ ꯗꯥꯛꯀꯨꯝꯕꯗ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯏꯁꯨ ꯂꯩꯕꯤꯔꯤꯒꯦ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯗꯥꯎꯠ ꯂꯩꯕꯤꯔꯤꯒꯦ ꯍꯪꯕꯤꯗꯣꯏꯔꯥ ꯅꯠꯇ꯭ꯔꯒ ꯂꯣꯏꯁꯤꯟꯖꯔꯣꯔꯥ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯗ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯤꯌꯨ ꯍꯜꯂꯣ ꯐꯔꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯗꯤ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯍꯌꯦꯡ ꯆꯤꯡꯈꯩꯉꯥꯟꯕꯤꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯃꯇꯨꯡ ꯇꯦꯛꯅꯤꯀꯦꯜ ꯏꯁꯨ ꯈꯔ ꯂꯩꯔꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯥꯏꯒ꯭ꯔꯦꯁꯟꯒꯤ ꯄꯥꯔꯠꯁꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯍꯌꯦꯡ ꯗꯤꯖꯤꯇꯥꯏꯖꯦꯁꯟꯒꯤꯁꯦ ꯑꯃꯨꯛꯀ ꯍꯌꯦꯡ ꯂꯧꯈꯠ ꯄꯨꯡ 11ꯗꯒꯤ ꯍꯧꯕ ꯇ꯭ꯔꯦꯅꯤꯡ ꯍꯌꯦꯡꯁꯨ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯑꯣꯏꯗꯣꯏꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯗꯤꯖꯤꯇꯥꯏꯖꯦꯁꯟ ꯄꯥꯔꯠꯁꯤꯗꯪ ꯌꯥꯎꯕꯤꯌꯨ ꯀꯩꯅꯣ ꯈꯤꯇꯪ 12 ꯑꯗꯥꯏꯗ ꯂꯣꯒꯏꯟ ꯇꯧꯕꯤꯔꯒ ꯁꯦꯝ ꯂꯤꯡꯛꯇꯤ ꯍꯣꯔꯦꯟ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯒ꯭ꯔꯨꯞꯇ ꯊꯥꯔꯛꯀꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯀꯩꯅꯣ ꯇꯧꯔꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯒꯁꯨ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯀꯩꯅꯣ ꯌꯥꯎꯕꯤꯌꯣ ꯃꯀꯣꯛꯇ ꯌꯧꯅꯤꯡꯉꯁꯨ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯌꯥꯎꯕ ꯌꯥꯅꯤ ꯍꯌꯦꯡ
ꯑꯩꯅ ꯌꯦꯡꯗꯧ ꯌꯦꯡꯉꯝꯅꯦ ꯑꯩꯉꯣꯟꯗ
Aditi ma'am, I will close the meeting for today. Thank you so much.
ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯇꯧꯒꯦ ꯇꯧꯔꯝꯅꯦꯕ ꯌꯥꯝ
Yeah, bye everyone.
ꯑꯩꯅ ꯂꯩꯔ ꯊꯝꯃꯕꯅꯦꯕ ꯄꯣꯠꯇꯨꯗꯤ ꯐꯩꯌꯦꯕ ꯐꯕꯁꯦ ꯄꯥꯟꯕ ꯌꯧꯗꯦ ꯀꯩꯅꯣꯅ ꯍꯦꯜꯂꯦꯕ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯈꯣꯡ ꯍꯟꯗꯛ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯃꯅꯥꯡꯒ ꯌꯥꯎꯔꯛꯄ ꯑꯗꯨꯃꯛꯅꯦ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯅꯣꯠꯇꯤꯅ ꯐꯩ ꯑꯗꯨꯃꯛꯅꯦ ꯑꯩꯁꯨ ꯂꯣꯏꯅꯤꯡꯗꯣꯏꯅꯦꯕ ꯊꯣꯛꯂꯛꯄꯒꯤ ꯃꯅꯥꯡ ꯐꯥꯏꯕ ꯍꯧꯔꯛꯄꯗꯨꯅꯦ ꯃꯅꯥꯡ ꯐꯥꯏꯕ ꯍꯧꯔꯛꯄꯗꯨꯅꯦ ꯑꯩ ꯈꯪꯉꯦꯕꯅꯤ ꯉꯁꯥꯏꯅ ꯈꯪꯉꯕꯅꯤ ꯑꯩ ꯔꯪ ꯑꯝꯇ ꯇꯩꯔꯝꯒꯦ ꯇꯧꯅꯤ ꯌꯥꯝꯗ꯭ꯔꯗꯤ ꯑꯩ ꯌꯨꯝꯗꯩ ꯂꯩꯒꯤꯗꯥꯏꯅꯦ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯂꯩꯗꯤ ꯂꯩ ꯆꯪꯉꯔꯣꯏꯌꯦ ꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯀꯅꯥꯔꯝꯅꯤ ꯃꯁꯥꯗꯨ ꯃꯗꯤꯌꯥ ꯂꯣꯏꯗꯤ ꯂꯣꯏꯈꯤꯗꯦ ꯇꯤꯀꯦꯠ ꯑꯅꯤ ꯂꯧꯕꯗ ꯂꯣꯏꯈꯤ Boleh gak dari? Terus. Sejak kopi ini kan? Ya benar. Apa nih? Sampai tu jadi, tamam. Jadi tu. Aku je. Aku je aja. Pengen tangan ni. Aku je yang tangan. Macam. Kani ni. Sedih. Bukan. Ya, betul betul. Không phải sẽ chân đây, chân nào